After sacrificing productive years in service to the government, pensioners in Benue State spend their old age in poverty, destitution, and lack. Many share tales of loss and depression, and hardship from unpaid benefits have altered some retirees' lives forever. 70-year-old George Okupi lost his son, Emmanuel, a university undergraduate at the Benue State University, to an illness he could not afford to treat. Okupi could not afford 130,000 naira for his son's treatment, and just 3 days to his final university examinations, Emmanuel died of the illness.
One of them, I lost one of my sons. He was sick. I went to the government hospital and they said typhoid and malaria. The money they told us to pay, I don't have enough money to pay for what they billed me in the hospital. So we have to retire back. And they took him back to Makodi. He went back to Makodi in the school. And when he went to the school, there is no money for me to give him to do anything. And so he died at Makodi there. He was doing an exam and then he died. First, for him to write the final of the third day, he died. And we have to come and bury him at home.
Many workers dread retirement due to the challenges associated with idleness and old age, including declining health conditions. In Benue, these fears are worsened by irregular payment of entitlements by the government. Findings by the ICIR show that Benue pensioners receive payments 3 or 4 times a year. The lack and hardship has left many pensioners depressed.
A year like this, maybe it's 2 times. 1 time, 3 times, it's them finished. They never pay me any year round since I retired.
I was only giving 500,000 out of my gratuity of 2 million. That was about I think 2018 or so. Then the monthly pension, we used to get about, I think, 3 times a year.
For 69-year-old Oliver Akatu, who retired in 2008, the lack of funds to pay his rent has placed him at the mercy of his landlord.
Out of 1.8 million, I'll be paid only 100,000. In a year, sometimes I'll get up to 3 or 4 times, sometimes 3, sometimes 4.
The fear of being dragged before a rent tribunal keeps him up at night.
And since then, I've been finding things very, very difficult. One, I am living in a rented house. Okay? I'm living in a rented house. The house that I managed to rent myself, I can't move it.
Children are also affected, as many are forced to drop out of school due to the lack of funds.
I have 7 children. My children are 7. Now, 2 of them are Federal Polytechnic movie, and one is already dropping because there are some certain levies they have to pay, and I can't afford that. So one of them is dropping. And, so I can only pay for one to complete one. There are others who have dropped out of school, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
And I don't have any money to train them further to the university. Even one that I normally say, my youngest professor, the young professor, now I cannot, he has been admitted into IJEOMA Federal University there. I cannot pay his school fees and nobody to help.
I have about 15 children. So all of them, they are mechanic. I don't have money to train them again.
Many pensioners hope that the National Union of Pensioners in the state would mount enough pressure on the government to effect release of their entitlements. But others believe that the union executives have been compromised.
The union is not a forceful union. I think we're not a union. The leaders there, they know how to bribe them. They lead when they own share, they lead and they support the government. There's nothing you can individual can go and do.
Reacting to the allegations, Benue NUP chairman Michael Vembe said the union was in negotiations with the government and more funds had been provided for monthly payment of pensioners. He said local government retirees would now get pension payments at least 6 times a year, adding that arrears left unpaid by previous administrations made it difficult for the present government to clear the backlog. He also added that pleading and strengthening relations with the governor were part of efforts to address the challenge, as it could not be resolved through demonstrations alone. But while the NUP strengthens relations with the government, many pensioners turn to farm work for sustenance.
They are, I don't know if you calculate from October 2019 to this date, you know how many years they are in yeah, when I get money, I'll get invite regulars, hire their people to do work for me.
65-year-old Florence Adogo, who sustained a gunshot injury on the hand after being kidnapped in April, also struggles with farm work for survival.
Initially that I stepped down, they retired me. The pension was coming monthly quite well. But all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, then they stopped. They started paying any time they feel like. Sometimes 2 months, 3 months, they are not paid. Maybe they will owe me, initially they will owe for some months, they will pay one. Another month, they will pay one, till this time around.
Others contemplate suicide as it has become difficult to deal with the frustration and hardship.
In fact, I am in a terrible situation. In fact, sometimes I say, should I hang myself? But if I hang myself, then the government will not even pay me, pay my children. I remember vividly on March 15th, 2021, I had almost, I think, I was pursuing my pension. As I alighted from the vehicle at Makodi, I could not walk again. I had an arthritis. My 2 legs, I could not walk. This thing carried over 200,000. Where do I get this money? I have to go and here and there for local banks. It is only God. Because if I start talking, I vow, and I continue to vow, none of my siblings will ever go to teaching profession. No.
Pensioners in Benue State have embarked on several protests over delayed payment of emoluments. However, the state governor Samuel Otom said domesticating the PENCOM law in 2019, which established the contributory pension scheme in the state, was part of efforts to resolve the delay.
We inherited over 70 billion arrears of pension, gratuity, and salaries when we came in 2015. We've done our best. The federal government did support us to intervene. The first instance, 28 billion was given as loan, not grant, as loan to the state, which we are paying. And we were able to deplete it. The balance of over 42 billion was still pending. Other states that are friendly to the federal government got it. For me, I did not. They have refused to allow me even get law to deplete this one. So on my own, we've been trying through whatever we have to pay, and we've been able to reduce this money to about 37 billion as of today. But what we have done, because these are patriotic people who worked and retired, and we're passionate about them, we're concerned about them, and what we have done is to meet with them, and we have agreed anytime we're able to raise money, we can clear the backlog. But for now, for them to also leave, what we do, every month we're able to pay half of the pension, both at the state and at the local government. But let me tell you what we have done ahead to solve this problem permanently, is to domesticate the PENCOM law.
But despite domesticating the PENCOM law, Benue government is yet to conduct an actuarial valuation or commence funding of accrued rights, according to the 2021 PENCOM annual report. Actuarial valuation is a critical part of implementing the contributory pension scheme, which creates a realistic pension budget that will help the payment of pension arrears and determine accrued rights. Benue is also one of the states not paying pension under the contributory pension scheme, which spells doom for future retirees. However, the state has received several bailout funds from the federal government to help clear arrears of salaries, gratuities, and pensions in the past.